All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we are exploring, you know how sometimes you just feel like your brain is just overloaded, like too many tabs open,
Too many tabs.
Yeah. Just mentally cluttered.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll be diving into that today.
Love it.
And we're going to be exploring a snippet of text called The Law of Mental Clarity.
Okay.
And this is interesting because this isn't just about cleaning up your desk or cleaning out your closet.
No.
This is about how a clearer mind can actually help us make better decisions.
I like it.
Like when we are feeling mentally clear, we make better decisions.
Absolutely.
So this source, The Law of Mental Clarity, the first line is, a cluttered mind creates a chaotic life.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, have you ever felt that?
All the time. And I think a lot of our listeners probably have too.
Right. Like, when was a time when you felt like maybe you had so much mental clutter going on that you made a decision that you later maybe regretted or just weren't happy with?
Yeah, I mean, so there's this fascinating thing called cognitive overload.
Cognitive overload. It's like,
You know, our brains are like computers.
Yeah.
And they only have so much processing power.
Okay.
And so when we're just bombarded with just information and tasks and decisions and everything, our processing power gets strained.
Oh.
Right? It's like trying to run like a really complex video game or something on an old computer. Things start to freeze up, you know?
It crashes.
The whole thing crashes.
Okay.
And that's what happens to our brains.
So then how does that affect our decisions?
Well, you know, you've probably heard of decision fatigue.
Okay.
It's like when we're mentally exhausted, we're way more likely to just make impulsive choices or just avoid making a decision altogether.
Yeah.
Or just fall back on old habits, even if they're not good for us.
So interesting. And this all ties back to this law of mental clarity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It says, declutter your thoughts and prioritize peace to make wise decisions. Okay. That sounds great in theory. But like, how do we actually do that?
Yeah.
It's easy to just say, oh, just meditate. But if I'm already feeling mentally cluttered, how am I supposed to just quiet my mind?
That's the thing, right? The how is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
And it's different for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Some people find mindfulness really helpful.
Mindfulness?
Which isn't necessarily about emptying your mind.
Okay.
It's more about just noticing your thoughts without getting carried away by them.
Okay.
It's like watching leaves float down a stream. You see them, you acknowledge them, but you don't jump in the stream and chase after them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried mindfulness before, but I've never really stuck with it. Do you have any tips for somebody who, let's just say, is easily distracted?
Sure. I think the key is consistency, but also starting small.
Okay.
Like even just 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference. And there are so many apps and resources now with guided meditations and stuff that can make it a lot easier to get started. And, you know, don't worry if your mind wanders. It's normal.
Yeah.
Just gently bring your attention back to your breath or whatever you're focusing on.
Okay. So the law of mental clarity also mentions journaling. Tried that before too. But sometimes I feel like when I write down all my worries and anxieties, it just makes them feel bigger.
I understand. Journaling can be great, but I think it's all about framing. Instead of just writing down like a list of your worries.
Okay.
You know, try to think about what the solutions might be.
Right.
Or try to reframe a negative thought into something more positive and neutral.
Okay.
You can even use journaling just to celebrate your wins, which can really help to shift your focus to the positive.
So it's not just about dumping everything out. It's about using those thoughts constructively.
Exactly.
Okay. I love that.
And remember, you know, even small things like prioritizing your tasks, you know, maybe picking like 3 things that are most important for the day and just letting go of the rest. That can really free up a lot of mental space. Or like setting boundaries, learning to say no to things that drain your energy. It's all about creating a sense of control over your mental environment.
It makes me think of this quote from a book I read recently by Oliver Berkman.
Okay.
It's called 4,000 Weeks. And he talks about how embracing our limitations in terms of time and energy can actually be incredibly liberating.
Interesting.
It's about choosing what matters most and letting go of everything else.
Which is so important for decision making.
Right.
Because when we free ourselves from this tyranny of trying to do everything, we can really focus our energy on what truly matters
Yeah.
and make better decisions.
So this whole mental decluttering thing, it's not just about like feeling less stressed.
No.
It's about setting ourselves up for success in all areas of our life.
We're absolutely. It's about recognizing that a peaceful mind isn't just a luxury. It's essential for making good decisions, for healthy relationships, for just living a more fulfilling life.
Well said.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive today on mental decluttering, I want to leave you with this. What's one small step you can take today to create a little bit more peace in your mental space? Maybe it's 5 minutes of mindfulness. Maybe it's writing in your journal about one thing you're grateful for. Maybe it's saying no to that extra commitment that's been weighing you down. Whatever it is, just remember, it's about progress, not perfection.
Right.
And we'll see you next time.